how you doing? And a very warm welcome back to youtube.com/Wi-Fi sheep with me, Tom. Now, if you cast your mind back to early October 2023, I did a review of the X1 all-in-one single board computer from Youyeetoo.com, and it turned out to be a surprisingly brilliant product. Well, since I made that video, many of you have asked questions or have wanted to know what happened next. How have I got on with the X1? So in today's video, I'm going to do a catch up with the X1 to show you how I've been getting on. And also I have a second parcel from Youyeetoo for us to look at. This one is accessories to enhance your X1 experience. Just a reminder before we continue, this video is a sponsored commercial presentation. Now, I only ever bring you products or services that I genuinely believe in or are actually interested in myself or think that you would be interested in. And the X1 is definitely one of those. So here it is set up. It's upside down on the camera to you just because it's easier to orientate it that way, because I have my USB and keyboard off here. So that's the mouse and keyboard USB, and all my power and HDMI is actually on this side. It's kind of off that way, so it just makes sense to flip the board upside down. It doesn't really make a difference. That's just letting you know, basically. One thing just to remind you about the X1, the stock X1 as you get them, is that the power supply and the fan and the heatsink are standard with the model. A certain other product that's just released its version 5 also last month, you actually have to pay separately for a power supply and heatsink and fan if you actually want one. The X1, no such problem, it's all here. The other thing I really like, full size HDMI as well as micro HDMI here. So you actually have the option, you can use one, both, and it makes my life so much easier. Plus the fact we also have a headphone socket. Analog audio is available on the X1 as standard. Anyway, how's this board been doing? Well, let's power up and I'll show you. Now, the last time I shared this product with you, we were running the stock Windows 10 installation that came installed on the X1. Well, shortly after that video had finished, the X1 actually updated itself to a full build of Windows 11, and that's what we're currently running. As you can see with Windows 11, a couple of updates are still required. We'll just give this a moment. There we go. We're straight in. So this is now a stock Windows 11, and it remembers my account, obviously from last time. And it's pretty much as it was before. The desktop has changed a tiny little bit, but we now run a stock Windows 11 system, and this just updated naturally of its own accord. And yeah, it's generally been great. It's fast, it's responsive, it does all your PC things in a form factor of an all-in-one single board computer. So yeah, I still stand by everything I said in the previous review. Okay, so the stock X1, depending on the specification, because you can add and remove things to the spec board that you buy, but this particular version of the X1 doesn't actually have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth on board. Now that can either be a hindrance or a blessing. It's certainly a blessing if you want to keep your system completely closed and secure. Saying that, with modern Windows 11, things aren't as bad as they used to be, and I've not had any problem running this via a cabled wired network with the included Ethernet connector here. However, you will notice there is a socket here where you can actually add a card. We've also got sockets here for adding an external flat screen LCD display. So let's take a look at the second package being sent to me by Youyeetoo. And this, I think I know what's inside. I believe this is a set of accessories that Youyeetoo make. Not just for the X1, but it's also compatible with a number of other products and devices that Youyeetoo make. So I've had this a week or so and I've not actually opened it yet. So I'm curious to what's inside. Okay, interesting. Let's take a look inside. So we have a series of module adapters. And here is the Bluetooth, I believe Bluetooth, and yes, it's combined Bluetooth and wireless or Wi-Fi card. I'll come back to this in a moment. Also been given this iPad stand, which I think I know what that's for, because something I didn't show you last time, and I'm just going to go and grab it, is hiding in this box. This is also from Youyeetoo, and this is their LCD display that the company do. That's compatible with a number of their single board products, including the X1. So we've got some components and things, we'll come back to those in a minute, most importantly the ribbons. So we've got a fair bit to look at here. Let me just show you, be careful, here is their actual display, full colour. I believe it's a touch screen display as well. And it actually has a mounting bracket on the back as well, which is, and we'll get that the right way around, Youyeetoo. And it mounts, let's have a look, something like that, which is really, really interesting. So we'll come back to the screen in a moment. So if you want to give your X1 Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, here's the card. And I believe we actually fit like that in there. And we might need to take that screw out. There we go. See how that fits like that? So the card will want to spring otherwise, so we need to bring it down like that, and then we just apply the screw. And I'll just take a moment just to tighten that up. Okay, so we've got the card installed, but we do need to attach these two Wi-Fi aerials because the card doesn't actually have an aerial on it for Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. One is Wi-Fi, one is Bluetooth. So let's just get these fitted. Okay, so they're on there like that. Turn our board back over. Let's power up and see what we've got under Windows, and hopefully we can find the local Wi-Fi network. Okay, moment of truth. Let's go and have a look at, we've got Wi-Fi which is available. And there we go, we found some networks. And need to remember which one I am. I am that one. Enter the key. Hands up who actually remembers their Wi-Fi key. Give me a moment. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, excellent. That has connected. So we should be able to go to the Microsoft Edge browser. And we should be able to head back to YouTube. youtube.com/Wi-Fi sheep. There it is. And there's the video playing. As I showed you last time, the videos on this run... Oh, turn me down. The videos on this actually run really, really well. So you get the speed of a relatively decent, fast x86 PC, as you would expect. So that's Wi-Fi working now on the X1. Okay, so let's take a look at the LCD panel again. Here is this product in question. Links to all this, by the way, are in the description to the video. This is not just exclusive to the X1. It does fit a number of other Youyeetoo single board computer products. So let's take the mounting screws out. We've got some GPIO jumper. And most importantly, we've got the two ribbons. The screen itself is touchscreen compatible, but the touchscreen element is not compatible at the moment with the X1. So we only need the larger of the two ribbons. The smaller ribbon is actually for the data link connection for the touchscreen protocol, which we won't be using for this demonstration, so we'll keep that spare to the side. So wiring up should be relatively simple. We have, this is a display tab here, and making sure we get this the correct way around, so it's printing face forward or face down if the screen is on its face like it is at the moment. So we're going to push that, the blue bit basically, in, and it goes underneath the connector. So not up or inside, just goes underneath, and then we pull the connector forward, this little connect here, and that locks, and that's connected that side. On the X1 itself, the display connector is here. Now, it does have what looks like the other half of the smaller ribbon lead. It almost looks like it would fit. That's not the case. This is actually for external SATA, this one here. So it's not actually for connecting for display control, so for your touchscreen. So don't make that mistake. But actually on the X1, the inside X1 is here, so we lift up the tab, making sure they're both on their faces, so they're bottoms up, if you like, so the orientation is correct. Push that in, push the clip down, and that holds. And that is that. That should now work, so let's turn these over. You don't need any other external power source or anything for the display itself. I'm going to leave the protective shield on, or the plastic on, just for the sake of the video. So that's now good. So the next thing we need to do is, in order to make the screen work on this particular revision of the X1, we need to do a BIOS update. So this is on the Youyeetoo website. This is the wiki, and it talks exactly how to do the update. Now, it talks about making sure you have the correct version. The boards themselves, the X1, have this QR code underneath, which actually gives you the revision. If it's a 4, it's a 4 gig. Mine has an 8, so it's an 8 gig. Now, we need to download, first of all, this package, which is the BIOS flash package. Now, we don't need to run this on PC. It will run on the boot up for the X1. So we need to download this package, unzip it, it comes as a zip file, and put it onto a FAT32 formatted USB stick or flash drive. Then we need to select which file, so we can download, I can find where the files are, so we can now download the BIOS package files, and they come in a zip, the bins like this. So you just need to select the correct one for you. So in my case, it's going to be 8 gig DDR4 digital microphone, and we want the MIPI 7-inch LCD default display, and the voltage set to 1.8. So that's the correct one. So when we download, we select the bin file we want, and then we rename that bin file as bios.bin, and we add it to the folder of this initial download, and that's what we then put onto the flash USB device, and then we can plug the USB device straight into the X1. This should work, and hopefully this will actually give us our display working correctly. A reminder, I'm powering up with the USB stick in. It should automatically update the BIOS, and we're getting a boot. There we are. It's quite efficient how it just does this. Okay, I had to put the files together, but it wasn't actually too difficult to do, just quickly on a Mac. Okay, it's just verifying right now. Okay, operation successful. I'm just going to take the USB stick out so it doesn't read it again. So we are actually now running, which is great. We're upside down. So let's turn it all around basically, so you can have a look. There we are, and there is Windows. There is Windows 11 running on the display. Let me take some lights down. Okay, there we are. So I've just adjusted the light so you can see the screen better, and it's not bad. It's not bad. It does do that funny polarizing thing if you have it at slightly strange angles, but there we go. And I've got my mouse still connected and we should be able to log in. It does, of course, help if you actually plug your keyboard back in. Strange that, isn't it? You wouldn't think that would help, but it does. Okay, so, and there we go. And it's resized the desktop to fit the resolution, which is fine. While we're here, just out of curiosity, so we've got it working on the display, which is fantastic. So let's just put the HDMI back in. I just want to see what happens. Interesting. Okay. So we have Windows 11 running in low resolution here on the HDMI, and it's mirrored at the same time on the display. Oh, that is very interesting. So one assumes you could probably set this up to have one display here and your HDMI could be another display. So I wonder if that means you could actually have up to 3 separate video outputs if you included this monitor. Very interesting. Okay, so next thing I'd like to show you is NFC. What's that stand for? Near Field Communication. The X1 actually supports this as stock standard if you have the actual reader device, which has been sent to me. And this is rather cool. I've not seen this on any other type of single board computer at the moment. So you have this pad or scanning device, blink and you'll miss it, but there's a little clip here, and this actually just plugs in. Right, and what this actually allows you to do is, the way near field communication works is, if you ever use things like Apple Pay or swiped with your phone over a device to make a payment, well, that's what this does, and it allows the X1 through the drivers and software that are included to actually transmit and receive data from other nearby devices. Now, unfortunately, my iPhone is actually too old to do this, and I was trying to scrabble around and think, what else have I got that I can actually do an active demonstration? And unfortunately, I don't actually have anything at the moment. Christmas is coming, hint hint, but I don't have anything at the moment that actually allows me to demonstrate this, other than to be able to show you the website. And again, if we go back to the Youyeetoo wiki, so here is the full explanation, if you like, of the onboard NFC development and testing. And it gives you the circuit diagram, it shows how the thing works. It gives you the software. So here is the testing software. This is direct from Youyeetoo. And they also offer a app for Android. Now, I don't actually even have an Android device, so I just can't show you this, unfortunately. But it actually allows you to send and log data. So you can send data directly from under Windows from the X1 and receive and send back under Android with the app they supply. So that is all kinds of potential opportunities and something very, very unique to the X1. Again, I've not seen this much, if at all, on any other device. So it is really, really cool. Hopefully, if I am able to actively show this, we may have to do a third follow-up. It's slightly unfortunate that I can't show it right now, but it is very, very cool. Again, these devices you can buy from Youyeetoo.com, and everything we've shown today you can buy from Youyeetoo. It's right there on their online shop. Okay, so I guess we need to bring this video to some sort of conclusion. Well, like the end of the previous video, I still stand by my original conclusion that the X1 from Youyeetoo is absolutely fantastic. It is so much better than I thought it was going to be. And I really am looking forward to actually getting mine set up and pushed into use as my sort of media streaming server to replace the MacBook, which, to be honest with you, despite being an M2 MacBook, is struggling with multi-camera feeds, which is becoming a problem. Really great, just to clarify about which version of Windows the X1 is compatible with. So mine has updated to a full Windows 11, and Youyeetoo have stated to me, and also replied in some of the comments to the previous video, that the next edition of the X1, or the ones that will be probably shipping about now ready for Christmas, should be Windows 11 pre-installed. If they're still Windows 10, it's not the end of the world, as the Youyeetoo X1 will update if it's given an internet connection. Speaking of internet connections, Fantastic to have a Wi-Fi module, and that plugged in perfectly, add little aerials, and it worked great. We also had a look at the Youyeetoo MIP i7 LCD. I've just got it on the paper down here. And that's a universal touchscreen module that works with a number of Youyeetoo single board computer devices. The touch element doesn't work with the X1, but the monitor does work perfectly fine, and you saw it work brilliantly. You just have to do a firmware reflash, and that was simple to do, a simple download and USB stick. It was painless. The X1 just did it perfectly, and very, very little faffing about to get that working, and it worked really, really well. As for the NFC data card reader thing, yes, it's impressive technology, and it's great to see that the X1 actually has it. Unfortunately, as you saw, I don't have anything to actually interface with it because all my mobiles are kind of old now and I must get them replaced. So I'm sure it's fine. And Youyeetoo, as you saw on the website, actually do offer apps on both the Windows and Android side for you to play around and test with actually transmitting data to and forth, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. And again, I've just not seen it on a single board computer product. So if you are looking for a low-cost single board computer to do PC things, then the X1, because it is an Intel PC chip. It runs proper full-fat Windows 10 or now Windows 11. It will do your PC thing, so why compromise with anything else? I just want to say a huge thank you once again to Youyeetoo, who have sponsored this video and the previous one, and for sending me the care package of some extra and really cool add-ons for the X1. If you are interested, do go and check out the links in the description to this video. If you're brand new around here, thank you so much for your company. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you real soon right here on the channel. Until next time, bye for now.